Hello everyone, my name is Draconicrose and welcome back to another episode of A Graveyard Keeper. Now, we last episode got a visit from a ghost. A ghost that told us that he had bad neighbors, but that is basically a way to teach us about exhuming. So, what do we have here? Well, we need to reach a rating of 5 at the graveyard. But before we do that, we also need to get both of these technologies. This one because it's the best way to prepare corpses, and this one because we'll have a quest that requires a human skull. And I would rather be prepared for these events. I don't know where the arrow is taking me, and I'm sorry if you see framiness here. It's because of the weather. Yes, the arrow must be, oh dear, must be taking me to the Dead Horse Tavern. But, well, we don't want to go there. We want to grab some of these. These are stick bushes. And we should be getting, both the red ones, which are work, and the green ones, which are nature points. Alright, so we are going to continue getting some of these until we can... Okay, I think that's enough to get... No, we need 10 of each. Okie dokie. Okay, pretty easy. And in case you're wondering, this isn't a waste. We actually can use the sticks for stuff and they'll come in handy. But we'll keep gathering the wooden sticks. These bushes. Terrible, terrible bushes. Can I get to those? Yes, I can. Perfect. Alright, so that's enough for the soft spares. And did Donkey leave us a corpse? Well, if he did, it's probably rotten. No. I can't remember. Yeah, we don't have any in the morgue. That is fine. Let us continue looking for the sticks. Another way we can do this is grab mostly work-related stuff and tear down a few things that are very good for the green nature points. And I will show what those are just for curiosity. Because I don't think many people realize that those things exist and that they give as many points as they do. They used to be more overpowered in the alpha, but they're still a very decent way to get nature points. And that is these things. These. Like, if I can get to them. Oh dear. There we go. Start digging them up and we get 5 nature points. Yeah, they used to give much more in the alpha, but they're still pretty decent. If you're lacking nature points for some reason. Which you really shouldn't, but you know. You never really know. Okay, so you have a few sticks. We need now to get more of the work-related ones. So we'll keep gathering things. I cannot remember if taking down trees gives us work points. Work points, manual labor, doesn't matter there. They're things you get from doing heavy manual work. So it's Wrath Day. Not Wrath, Gluttony. It's the day the merchant is in town, which means it's a very good day for us to go to town. And I shall explain why basically it has to do with agriculture. Just grab these stick bushes. Just to get our last... Didn't I? Yeah. Just to get our last heart spares technology just in time for our next corpse. And before we go to town, we will drop by the garden and examine this. We are going to read it. The owner is Horadric? I don't know how to pronounce his name. And it doesn't really matter either. Because we are going to visit him and the merchant and get a bunch of things knocked out at once. If this works out the way I think it will work out. I'm so glad that the walking speed got updated. This used to take a lot longer. Okay, so the arrow really wanted us to talk to Horadric? Something. Welcome to the Dead Horse, I'm Horadric, I woke up here. How could I not have recognized you? Good, this is good news. Things are looking bright for our small village. Now you're planning to open the church. You need to fix the graveyard, and sure, it's been a while since anybody took care of it. So let's get down to business. How can I help you? And I am rushing because there's a lot of things that we want to get through. I want to ask about the garden. Seized by the merchant, and we need the permission, which we get. And we'll have to talk to the merchant to get access to the property. Well, not really access, more like permission to actually use it. But anyway, burial certificate. Yep, we have to trade it for money, but we're short on money. Get back home, it's gonna tell us to talk to the astrologer, I think. You're at the Dead Horse, looks medieval, maybe I traveled through time. What year is it now? And people here don't know that the earth revolves around the sun. So, oh, we've been listening to the astrologer's nonsense. So the astrologer knows something about things. But it's 204 after the ancient contract. And we are in the kingdom. Meat is a delicacy, but we need the royal stamp to get it. No, actually no. We need the stamps, so it means we can either get it the legit way by spying it from the royal mailbox, or we get it from Snake. So, trade, he doesn't have money, but we can go on the quest for him. Okay, so we sell that burial certificate, and right now we don't want to buy anything from him. We just want to sell and get our first little bit of money. Then we want to go down here on this day of gluttony and talk to this guy. He is the merchant. Greetings, villager. You can offer rare and tasty things. If you want to read Dupos. The world's not mine because he's from the town. Okay, we can scare him to cure his hiccups. He is still going to ask us for hiccup grass, I think. He forgot about the garden because it cost him so little, so now of course he wants to make a profit. Yeah, we don't have the money to do that, but we can get the first harvest from him. Okay, so we need to get hiccup grass for him from the swamp, and let's give out seeds. No thanks. Okay, so I don't think we get... yeah, no. So this guy, he sells and buys like really expensive stuff, and as you can see we have the standard copper, silver and gold monetary values. Okay, so we are going down here, grabbing these bushes along the way. Oh, we can't yet. Okay, never mind then. So we're coming over here to the blacksmith, Griswold, and we are going to give him the letter from the From Horadric. The innkeeper, exactly. New habits, slimes again. So we get our rusty sword, we get an energy potion, and a few other things. We can ask him where to find metal ore, which is in the swamp. And it gets us the furnace, which is very important. So first things first, we are going to put this in our hotbar. We have a bunch of things we can use. So the grindstone to repair our broken sword and our rusty shovel is here. With the whetstone he gave us, we have one in our house. Well, not in our house, but like just outside our door. So there's that. And now we need to take that energy potion because we need to slay some slimes. Press spacebar to swing our sword and try not to touch the slimes so that they don't take our energy. Any more slimes? No. So slimes can show up during the day or night and also in the dungeon, which we will unlock in a good bit. So we get 5 simple iron parts. And that is awesome. And we learn to make jellies, which also awesome. So first things first, we are going to buy with our starting money. Okay, only 1 iron ingot. Because we don't have much money and it's more worthwhile buying the ingot and making our own stuff than trying to buy the finished product from him. Because as usual, labor adds value. And that is a thing that I like about this game. You can buy the base materials if you want and transform them and possibly sell them for a profit. Or at least not waste so much money. So this one is the farmer and the one that sells the seeds. There's another one up north, but all he deals with is wheat. So let's do a trade. We want... which ones are the cheapest? Cabbage and carrots. So actually all of these. So we want 4 seeds of each. And we'll probably need more, but since our money is limited... since our money is very limited, we're just going to buy the 4 cabbage seeds and take it from there. Ah, comrade donkey, right on time. Okie dokie, so we shall go up and back home on this, the day of gluttony. Ah, we also want these red flowers because there's a new thing that we can use to quickly improve our graveyard. That is the flower bed. And the flower bed is honestly a little OP, though there's only a limited number of them that we can put down. So Gary, God, I just want to call him not Mort. Gary tells us that we should stop bread. He teaches us to make a few things. Oh, and he reminds me. He reminded me that I forgot one crucial part of our quest, which was to tell Horadric that the slimes were killed. And that is important because he will give us a beer, which we can give to Jerry for answers and stuff. So we're going to come back. Apologies for not remembering that. It was a lot of things. But we'll go back, and thankfully the Dead Horse doesn't actually close at night, unlike other stores and NPCs. So here we go. This woman, by the way, she sells cooking recipes. And there we go, we have our beer. and nothing to trade. We could sell the beer again, but 22 copper, and we definitely do need it for Jerry, so we'll just continue on with our quests. By the way, there's an entrance here. It's closed from the other side. Wonder what that could be. We will find out shortly. Alright, we are back near the garden, and now we have the technology to be able to get berries. Berries are useful in the early game, as well as these mushrooms. Not the tree, the mushroom. And no, the software cursor still hasn't been fixed on Linux, and it still bugs out. But anyway, berries and these mushrooms, they're going to be essential. So okay, now we can claim this property. Ta-da! And build some empty garden beds. For now, we will start with one because there is nothing else we can do. We will finish our energy here. Actually, we can just eat one of these and hopefully, yeah, finish that. And we plant our cabbages. Now they will grow on their own, no need to water or anything of the sort. And we can go sleep to recover our energy. We have done sleeping and the ghost of Yorick is back. I'm the new graveyard keeper. Hooray, a keeper! I'm Yorick. So lonely. Wait, no, on the contrary, very glad to see you. An unpleasant fellow. That does sound like something I can help with. However, I will not be doing this quest as it is told to me because the corpse he's asking me to dump is actually a pretty good corpse. First, we are going to take Jerry's advice and visit the cellar here, because there are a lot of resources down here. See, that's a simple iron part. And this is the Day of Envy, aka the day when Snake visits. Damn gate. I'll come here every night if I have to, but I'll get through eventually. And there's this barricade that we are going to have to remove. Okay, so we have a lot to do before next Pride Day. Why Pride Day? Well, because of the church, which we need. Definitely. Okay, continuing on. Before Pride Day, we do have to visit the astrologer, which means we do have to get that skull. Which is okay, because Comrade Donkey did leave us a corpse. And yes, I am not worried about the corpse rotting, because, well, I am going to be tearing that corpse apart, basically. I wanted to put this in a better way, but I couldn't. This is flour. It will be useful to make bread out of. Right now we can't pick it up, but we can get the points from it. And here is a recipe called Simple and Tasty. Okay. Let's put that there. Inventory, use, and we know how to make baked mushrooms. Okay, okay. Let's take those, we'll leave the flesh down there, it's not really useful for now. Here we are going to be putting our foods. For now, we are actually going to take the berries and keep them down here. So I usually put lowest energy gain to highest energy gain. Just as an organizational thing. So we are going to leave a bunch of stuff in here, including stone and the fudge. Everything else comes with us. Right now we don't need much else. So we are going to take this awful rotten corpse and we are going to do a number on it. Before we do, we're talking to Jerry and giving him a beer. Just so we get the inventory space. Now, stop running around bragging you're from another world. I don't remember to clear what that was. It was for doing something similar that I lost my body. So if you want to keep yours, just stop. And there's no point in talking to him more. So, we want that skull. And not a lot more from this body. We want the skin because we'll use it to make paper. And the flesh, always useful for sale. And the blood, which will be used for ink. Nothing else really. So we are going to take this horrible, terrible, no good corpse, full of sin and yuckiness, and we are going to toss it in the river for the people of the town to enjoy in their drinking water. Wow, that did not go according to plan. But here we go. What do you think you're doing here? Ghost asked me to get rid of this body. No, he didn't. So what, now you're just going to do everything he asks? It's not like he can do anything to you, haha, he's disembodied. Whereas I can bite you to death while you're sleeping. Of course I'd never do anything like that because we're friends, but you get my point, right? The best way to get rid of a body is to burn it. So we do have pyres across the road from the mortuary entrance, and this river leads to the town. And that's all he tells us about it. So we now have an exhumation permission, which we are not going to really use right now. We are going to leave it here with the red flowers and nothing else. We are going to use that repair kit somewhere if we can. Like right here. There we go. So that is better. Next we want to clear off these. Very good. Not enough energy, and since it's nighttime, I'm just going to go and sleep. Oh boy, there's a lot to do in the early game days if you know what's coming. Otherwise, you gotta go grind a little bit. Anyway, enter, sleep, and we get the ghost again. It's much nicer without him at the graveyard, even though we didn't actually exhume the guy. We tossed a completely different corpse in the river. That's okay. So the ghost is teaching us about the graveyard rating, which is the sum of white skulls and laurels. So, like, a red skull and a laurel doesn't give you anything, it just removes the -1 from the red skull. Now, I have found an odd thing, and that is when you have a grave that without any decoration has a +1, you can't really get it to like +4 or something, because that +1 for some reason doesn't count. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if it's intended, but yeah. The reason I'm taking 2 of those is because we are going to need it for the flowers, and we want a farming technology which is decay. And we want it right now because as soon as our cabbages come in, we are going to have some... we need 10 sticks. We're going to have some plant material that we can turn into peat, which is also needed for the flower bed. So as you can see, the sticks are indeed useful, and it's not a waste of time to gather them up. So take these down there and build the compost heap. Now I like to keep my vegetable parts here, and I used to like to put the compost heap over here, but they removed this space for the compost heap and this one for the trunks and put the trunks here. And well, I wonder what they're gonna put down there, because that was like the perfect thematic place for the trunks. Anyway, I'm going to put this heap there and get it done. Even though we can't use it yet, at least it will be done. So as you can see, we can pick a resource, no resources for us. Okay, next, we want to go check on the requirements. The Inquisitor! I've just seen the Inquisitor! Yeah, we are going to visit the Witch Hill soon. But first, we want to come here and check the requirements for this bridge, which are 1 wooden plank, 4 flitch, and 8 nails. Well, we don't know how to make planks yet, but it's something we can learn. So we'll learn sewing, and soon we'll learn woodworking and firewood. We technically want to learn firewood first, but we will learn both of them. Oh, and just so I remind me... Okay, it's mostly work stuff. That is fine, we should get plenty of those as we try to embellish our graveyard. So the place to burn corpses, by the way, is down here. We get this new place, and we supposedly can build a pyre. Not yet though, not yet. So we shall continue with our quest. I'll see you when I get there. Okay, here we go, we got the cutscene for the Inquisitor. Everything is ready, Monseigneur. Good. Were there any problems? No, Monseigneur, except there was this strange fellow snooping around. Oh, there he is! Halt! Guys, calm down, I live here at the graveyard. He calls us guys? Why, he's a cultist for certain, Monseigneur. I'm the graveyard keeper. I was the keeper of the local graveyard. You can ask any of the villagers about me. Then you're definitely a new one. I feel that you were telling the truth. Would you join me at the witch burning ceremony? Of course. It would be my honor. So how did you find yourself in such an interesting position? It's not. Well, it just happened. There's nothing special to say. You're definitely hiding something, and I'll find out what. Here I am, the Great Inquisitor. I protect the one true faith and humankind itself. We are having a tough time in the town. The ship of the dead is already overloaded, and there's a new one stuck in the shipyard. Your graveyard is opening again at a suspiciously auspicious time. The dark cult is rising. I can feel it. Righteous anger rises with it in my soul. We haven't revealed the witch for a long time, and now we're lighting up the second one this year. And it's only the beginning. Burn the witch! Burn! Light the fire! Inquisitor. Long live the Great Inquisitor! Hurrah! 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 And she burns. So, you work with a lot of dead bodies, huh? Yes, I think it's part of my job. And you live right beside this hill near the graveyard, that right? Yes. Interesting, interesting. You know, I need someone to be my friend here at the village. A friend of mine is a friend of the Holy Inquisition. Villagers, they're different from us town citizens. You can't trust them. But you're new here. You might notice something unusual. And we will agree. Now he gives us a quest. Well, 2 quests. First is to get the firewood and the others to get flyers. But first he wants us to talk with him on another Day of Wrath. Okay, so this is the portal that we want to open. As you can see, it lights up on the days. And there goes the poor witch. Bye bye, witchy. We are going to take this red flower. And if I'm not mistaken, we are heading back home. Yes, I'll see you home. Alright, we are home, and as you may remember, we need to build a few things so that we can get our flitch and planks. But for that I want to clear up this space first, because I always like putting my wood stuff up here. Don't ask me why, because I do not know. I just know I like it. So I'll put those there, and the blueprint thingy is over here. We want a sawhorse. Sawhorse? Sawhorse. Darn it. And yeah, I'm gonna put it here. And all we have to do is get it built. Now the sawhorse allows us to turn logs into billets or flitch, or to make wooden markers to improve our graveyard. Right now we are going to tear down this tree to get our first log and a few more work points. There we go. So before you can use the log, we have to put it in the stockpile. Which stockpile? This stockpile. This is the wood stockpile. So the log goes in there, and now we can use it to craft. Let me check something. How much flitch do we have? Not enough. So yes, we are making a little bit more flitch. So we will work it. Make our flitch, get a few more points, and deposit all of this. Now, in our technologies, we can now get a firewood, which will be very handy. So, to do a firewood, we need to make a chopping block, which requires 5 wood billet, which means more logs for us. But that's all the time we have for today's episode, unfortunately. So, I am going to sleep to save the game, and I'll see you next time. And until then, remember, here there be dragons. Thank you so much to my patrons for making this channel possible. Click the Patreon logo to become one of these fine folk, and if you enjoyed the video, here are some more YouTube things you would like. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.